Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Pwny Montana, and in this video we're going to be going over 2 run stick moves to help you guys get more separation, just to become better runners in Madden 22, make more people miss, kind of go crazy with it. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below on anything that you guys would like to see. Also, comment if you have any questions on anything that I talk about in any of my videos. I do reply to everybody, so if you guys haven't, follow me on all socials as well. They'll be down in the description. Today we are going to be talking about 2 specific moves that are kind of underrated. They're kind of underutilized, but I feel like they're starting to pick up a small head of steam to kind of make their way into actually like into a lot of people's repertoire where they're running and they're trying to go crazy. So right now I'm in offense only to kind of showcase these moves, just so we can kind of showcase what they are and what they do and what you guys can do to make them better. So we're going to be talking about the hurdle, or the jurtle, if you will, in Madden 22. Now, the jurtle was something that got popular, I believe, 2 years ago, where you would hurdle and create separation every single time with your running back or whoever it is that you had the ball with, or your kick returner. A lot of the times people were able to get a nice little kick return from jurtling out of a bad situation because there was a glitch in it where you wouldn't fumble. That's sort of back, but you do fumble. Now, to achieve the jurtle, you just simply press triangle and you hurdle the opposite way of the way that you're running. So you move the left stick the way that you're running and then press the hurdle. Now, obviously you can't hold it the opposite way that you're running, wait 10 seconds and then try to jurtle. It's not going to work that way. You're going to end up just running that way and then hurdling that way. But the jurtle works because you're technically juking the opposite way of the way that you're running, and it creates a nice little separation. It's something that you guys will have to practice to get better at, but I promise you, once you get this right, you will go absolutely crazy. Now, one thing that I do need to mention when it comes to trying to rock the hurdle or the jurtle is you guys will need an ability in this game to not fumble. And that ability is called Leapfrog. I believe in regs, only 2 people have it, and that is Christian McCaffrey and Ezekiel Elliott, which is the person that I'm using right now. And what this does is it makes it so that you will never fumble while using this ability. You can fumble while juking, you can fumble while spinning, you can fumble while stiff arming, but when running something like this, where you're trying to hurdle and you're getting tackled while hurdling, sometimes you will fumble. You will not fumble with this ability. Now, if you do have a power back on Madden Ultimate Team, you will be able to apply this for 2 ability points. And if you have an elusive back or a receiving back, I believe it's just only 1. Now, if you pair this up with somebody like Bo Jackson, you will be able to get those yardage points to activate Bo Nose a lot quicker than you will without it. Now, the second move that I would like to talk about, let me just go ahead and just kind of jurtle my way down the field real quick. The second move that I would like to talk about is the stiff arm. Now, I wasn't able to get a nice little example in practice mode out of this to kind of showcase it because for some reason they don't even put their hands up to stiff arm for some reason. I'm pressing X and he's just not doing it. As you can see, my stamina is absolutely depleting and I'm not able to even put my hands up. Now, in the actual game, as you can see, once again, the stamina just depletes. In the actual game, if you're rocking the stiff arm, which is the X button while you're running, or the A button, whichever hand the running back has the ball in, the opposite hand will go up to actually, attempt a stiff arm. For some reason, it doesn't do it in practice mode. Now, what this stiff arm does is it's the new stop and go. So as you can see, I am losing stamina, but I'm also kind of staying in the same place. You almost can't even see it, but I'm losing stamina, but also staying in the same space while doing it. This is the new way to stop and go in Madden 22. This is all part of the advanced run stick tutorial that I'm going to eventually drop, probably New Year's Day, but this is all a part of it. This is going to make it so that you guys are able to kind of stop and go people that are trying to click on and tackle you, the stiff arm. So you will in game, you will get a little animation where you're sitting there and your hand's slightly going up, but you're simply just going and stopping and going. So you see how I'm kind of stopping there. It does take practice. It does take time to achieve. But once you get this down, I promise you, you will be making a lot more people miss. And sometimes I even make the CPU miss, which is absolutely crazy to actually achieve, to make the AI miss with just a stiff arm while shifting to the opposite side of where that person is. Now I'm actually going to go and I'm going to change the practice type to normal so I can showcase the hurdle in all of its glory. So we're just going to call this inside zone. Maybe I should call it passing play. Yeah, we're just going to call it passing play, and we're going to call, let's just call cover 2 man. And the reasoning for calling a passing play is because you don't need to run it with just the running back. You're going to be able to use this journal with anybody. As you can see, this is one of the beautiful things about it, is in a situation that you might have been tackled for, let's say if he kept running straight, we would have met probably at like the 51. But instead, I'm able to get tackled at the 55. Football is a game of inches, just like Madden in general. Everything that has to do with football is a game of inches. So the fact that I was able to grab myself a couple extra yards there just by doing the hurdle or the jurdle is a beautiful thing. This is going to make it so that you're simply just nonstop getting yards. If you guys are throwing little hitch routes, now I'm going to put a hitch route on the field, see if I can make something happen here. You guys are throwing this little hitch route here. Oh, never mind. That's just a bad throw. Dak Prescott doesn't have gunslinger, so he can't just like fit he can't fit the balls in there. Pause. And that's a sideline throw. That's not going to be able to achieve it. But even something like a sideline throw, you guys are going to be able to let me see if I can throw it to Ezekiel Elliott. So even on the sideline, you're going to be able to jurtle back into the field of play. Sometimes instead of just sitting there and catching a corner route and just literally being forced to go out of bounds, you're going to be able to kind of jurtle yourself back into the field of play instead of just going right out of bounds. There's so many different things that you could do with this specific thing, and it'll just allow you to get a lot more yardage little by little, where you guys are going to be able to achieve something like, if you guys have the bow nose X factor, that's going to be a huge help, because let's audible down to a run. You guys are going to be able to juke into holes, and as you can see, crazy yardage off of just juking into a hole, or excuse me, hurdling into a hole. I'm going to show the instant replay on that because that's instant replay worthy. Now this guy's got this hole plugged up. So if I run through this gap right here, if I run through that gap right there, I'm getting tackled. But because I went there, I was able to kind of swipe right past him and be able to, instead of taking a gain of 1 yard, I'm able to take a gain of a nice 10, 11, 13 yards. Let's do that one more time with the run. I do have my X factor, so I'm probably going to break a tackle even if I don't hurdle. But as you can see, I jurtled right past the defender that's right in front of me, and that is what I'm talking about with making the most out of specific situations. Now that was just the worst hurdle ever, but I didn't get tackled, which is fine. But this guy right here should have had an easy tackle, and I jurtled right past him, and then I get tackled. But I should have been down right there at the 40-yard mark, but instead I'm able to gain that extra yardage. And if this is a game of inches, if you guys are, if it's 4th and 1 and you guys need that extra yard, what run move are you gonna do? You're gonna spin move and then get tackled for a loss? No, you're gonna either stiff arm that man to oblivion, or you're gonna jump in his face, Antonio Brown kick him, and be able to get a first down. Now I'm going to run it one more time with it. See if I can get a nice little, oh, I don't even know what play I just called. You can even do this with, you can do this with quarterbacks. You can do this with quarterbacks, but obviously it's a lot more risky to do it with quarterbacks. I would advise you to only do it if you guys are sitting there going towards this. If you're jurtling towards the sideline, then maybe you guys are going to be able to do it, but you can do this with anybody that is on the field. Okay, so the tight end there, boom, another perfect example of a play where we just ended up getting an extra 4 yards. And then I'm gonna go into the stiff arm. I'm gonna attempt it a couple times, but Another play where we ended up getting to the almost the 50-yard line when I jurtled at the 43. At the 42, I jurtled at the 42, and we ended up getting almost to the 50-yard line. Incredible. This is something that you guys definitely need to implement into your game. Now I'm going to try to get a nice little playoff so that we can go ahead and showcase this with the stiff arm, because you can do this, the stiff arm, you can do this with anybody. You don't need any type of ability, and you will be able to make some people miss. So I'm going to try to see if I can give you a 2-for-1. Never mind. But this is going to pretty much end the video pretty much, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually get a nice animation with this. So he's coming from across. It's not gonna work against the AI, but online, I promise you, if you guys believe in the work that I put in when it comes to this YouTube stuff, look at, oh, beautiful, we achieved it against the AI. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie, it took me so long to do it, and I wasn't even able to do it earlier, but I finally got one on the AI. And it's so hard to do it when someone's not clicking off. But as you can see, completely making that man miss. And the beautiful thing about it, if you guys are playing something like Regs and you have somebody like, I don't know, Derrick Henry, and you do something like this, not only do you have the potential to actually stiff arm them, but you have the potential for this to happen, not losing any momentum, but you also have the potential to actually stiff arm the person. So even if you don't want to, you can have the stiff arm ability. I believe it's one man, I forget what it's called. I'll end up pulling it up and I'll drop it in the description. But this is definitely, I'm not even gonna attempt it again, because this was perfect. This was absolutely perfect. You press X or A if you guys are on Xbox, and you kind of shift over with the left stick, and you're able to make people miss. This happens all the time, and it's something that not a lot of people are talking about. I don't know if it's a secret, but it's something that I started using, so I figured I would drop it for you guys. Wow, I cannot believe I got it. I'm kind of hype, I'm not gonna lie, but that's gonna be it for the video, man. If you guys haven't already, try these two things out for me. Leave a comment down letting me know any questions you guys have about them. If you guys have a better move than these two, drop it down in the comment section. I've already dropped the spin move. I've already dropped the truck and the truck threshold and all that stuff. This is two things that you guys can add to your game to make you even better at Madden. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. Like, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me drop my little animation real quick. Subscribe if you guys are new. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.